Okay. All right. We're going to get started. All right. So here we go. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to start our Pacesetters class? Yay. I know. I'm very excited. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So we are jumping in. So first of all, I want to start by saying I have lots of notes. I have not done a Pacesetter in years, so I'm really excited about it. I will tell you, so I went on a top director trip, and one of the new nationals, she was talking about how she did a Pacesetter program, and that was really a game changer for her to finish her national area. Now, I will tell you, though, she made her people get up. She did a 5 a.m. class on Saturday morning in person. So I'm not that mean, okay? But I do want to give Matt props to those of you that did get here in person. You'll see in a minute you get a ton more points for being here in person. And we have Miss Sarah drove the furthest, an hour and a half this morning. So no excuses. And those of you that are joining online that are in Colorado, I know that it was last minute, but I hope that you make the choice to be here next week, because it'll run for the next 6 weeks, okay? Because in person is much more powerful. You can get to connect. So good job. Give you guys pat yourself on your back. Good job. Good job. So I'm excited about a Pacesetter program because my hope in doing this is to help you sharpen your skills, help, of course, you make more money, but become more confident in the business skills. There's going to be like role playing, and of course I want you guys moving up if that's something that you want to do, but more importantly I want you to feel more confident about what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to go from Mary Kay from A to Z, all right, in 6 weeks. And so there's going to be there's going to be lots and lots of training. Some of it you may have heard, some of it may not. But I want you to just kind of take as many notes as you can. No, I want you around the table. So let's squeeze her in over there. Squeeze her in over there. All right. Sorry, we're having people show up. So the other thing we're going to start with, first of all, is we're going to go through a bunch of training first of all, but before we get through that, I'm going to go through this. So those of you watching online, our point system, okay? Because in this program, there will be accountability for your actions, okay? Because you guys can show up to meetings all day long and not do anything. People do it all day long. You know, they'll come to meetings week in and week out and have all the knowledge in the world, but not take action. Now, what I am looking for in this is I want to help you move up. And the only way you're going to move up is if you actually implement this stuff, okay? And so there is going to be accountability for your actions once you implementing the skills that you learn. And the number one reason people don't take action is because they're afraid. And I get it. You're afraid. But now is the time to get into action. You know, one of the best and worst parts about this business is that there's no accountability. Like, you don't have to do anything in Mary Kay if you didn't want to. Right? Now, pull up a chair. Good morning, sunshine. But you have committed to this program because something inside of you wants more out of this business, right? And so just know that the accountability is required because this is something where it's kind of like your report card. Now, I am not your boss. I am not here to judge you, but I am here to hold you accountable to what you said you wanted to do with your life. Does that make sense? And with your business. So don't run from this. This is a very good thing. And, you know, and here's what I want you to know. That how you graduate this Pacesetter program is very simple. Write these two things down. Two things that you have to do to graduate. And to graduate, you'll get a little prize. Next 6 weeks, 2 things you have to do. You join all the trainings in person, preferably. You'll see you get way more points for joining in person. And second, turn in your point sheet each week. Those are the only 2 things you need to do. It's that simple. But you will be shocked, and I know I will be shocked, about how many people don't finish. How many people just don't finish? How many times have you started something and not finished? Yes. I'd encourage you to make a decision that you are going to commit to finish. Just pull the chair over there. You guys are going to have to sit over there. I love you. That you make sure that they have one of these point things. Okay, this is important. Sit down, grab paper. All right, we're in the middle. All right, so this is important that you are accountable for your actions, okay? You make a decision to stick with this for 6 weeks because it is super simple to graduate. I'd encourage you to make a commitment and stick to it to prove to yourself that you can do this and that you can stick to something that you start, okay? Good morning, guys. We'll have you guys sit over there. You'll sit over there. All right, so I want you to stick with it. Sorry, some people just joined us. I was in the middle of my zone. All right, I'm going to recap really quickly. The way you graduate is you fill out this form every single week and you show up every single week. That's it. I'd encourage you to make a decision that you're going to stick to that, okay? That's easy enough, right? All you got to do is show up and fill out your tracking sheet. If you show up in person, it's going to be, of course, a lot better. So good job, those of you that made it, even though you're late. Okay, the other thing about this is that you are not competing. Hey, I will give mad props to Becky. She was here at 7:30 when I got here, by the way, and she drove an hour and 5 minutes to get here, so good job. All right, here we go. Present, breathe, okay, take notes, we're jumping in. The other thing about this is, remember, you're not competing against anybody but yourself. I don't want you looking, I will have points. There are going to be points for the person that has the most points, and you're going to be a prize after this 6 weeks, whoever has the most points, whoever has the most in sales and the most in team building and the most improved. Those are the 4 categories that you're going to get big prizes for the next 6 weeks. Okay? So you're competing against yourself and yourself only. And the way that you finish this program is to show up every week for the next 6 weeks and to fill in your paper. Easy enough, right? And you're all going to stick with it, right? Yes. Right? Pinky promise? Because I am committed to help you grow, okay? And I want to help you grow, and I want you to hold accountable and stick to something, because the biggest thing that's going to come from that is you're going to be more confident because you actually finished something. Because so many people have said, I've started something and then never finished it. Okay? So all I got to do is fill out your paper. Simple enough, right? Even if it has big fat zeros, I don't care, but you're being accountable. All right? Let's make sure everyone's still simple enough. Okay, so there we go. All righty. So, a little more housekeeping things. Any questions about all that? We're going to go through the point system. Everyone got one of these? We're going to go through these. Okay? So these are the things that I want you focused on. Over, oh no, I lied. There's one more thing that I want to go over before I go over this. I know I do this all the time. Is that there will be daily challenges texted out from my 719 number. Those of you in my unit, it's my business number. And then I post it on Facebook to make sure everyone has texted me at that number, and I'll put you in a little system. And so for the next 6 weeks, every day you're going to get a challenge, and I'll give you something little to do every day. And you'll see you get a prize just for doing that. But these are the things on this list that I want you focused on week in and week out. They're the basics. Okay? Here we go. We're going to run through this, make sure we're all on the same page and you understand it. You get a point for each wholesale ordered, each dollar wholesale ordered between now and October 31st. Okay? So you order $200 wholesale, that means you get 200 points. Simple enough, right? And you get a point for every dollar retail sold. Okay? You sell $300 in a week, you get 300 points. Simple enough? Got it? Okay. You also, here's the big one. Put a big star by this one, because one of the things that I want to build in you guys is consistency. You get 500 points. You'll see it's one of the only ones that you get 500 points for having a 3+3 week. And I want you to write down what this is. This is something that Mary Kay preached all the time. And it'll take you anywhere you want to go in your business. It is having 3 parties in a week, because we're going to be talking a ton about parties. I want you guys in front of more faces. A party is 3 or more people, okay? $300 in sales, retail, in the week. And you share the business opportunity with 3 people in the week. So 3 + 3 + 3. You get 500 points for every week that you do that, okay? Now, so you got it, 3 parties in a week, $300 in sales, and you share the business with 3 people, you get 500 points. Plus, you'll see you get all the points individually for that as well. So that's what I want you striving for. That's why it was first, okay? 100 for each new interview held with your director or follow-up. Okay, so that's a 3-way call in person. Anybody that you have listened to the information, but they must follow up with us. Must follow up, have a conversation, okay, if they're watching a video or Facebook Live or anything like that. Got it? 100 points for each facial held. That's 1 to 2 people. Just held. I don't care about the sales. Just how many people that you're just having facial. A facial is 1 to 2 people. Okay? 300 points for each class held of 3 or more people. Okay? A class is just 3 or more people. I'm not even looking at sales for this 300 points. Okay? 300 for each new agreement. That means an agreement goes in, was not active, none of that, you get 300 points. Okay, someone signed up. 500, in addition to that, 500 for each qualified team member. What's qualified?
600 or more.
600 or more. So if their initial order is 600 or more, you get 500 extra points. You get 300 when she signs, and then 500 extra points. Got it? Because I want you to look having qualified people. 25 for each new appointment booked within the next 2 weeks. So that means you get a booking to meet with someone to do a facial. It has to be in the next 2 weeks, because I don't want some things we'll talk about when we get to booking. I don't want you booking a month out. I mean, you will, and some people you have to, but you want to have them book in the next 2 weeks, because it's been proven that if you book an appointment in the next 2 weeks, they're a lot more likely to hold versus booking it a month or 2 months out, right? So does that make sense? 25 points for each new booking within 2 weeks. 200 for each guest at a meeting or an event. I'm pushing that because I really want you having guests at the events. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you, those of you that are local, our guest count has gone down drastically, and that means we're going to stop doing events, okay? If we don't keep bringing people. So I'm telling you that to scare you, hopefully. That in a good way, that I want to work for you, but if you don't bring me people, I'm going to go spend my time elsewhere, okay? So I am front-loading the 200 for each guest at your meeting. So some of you are in Pueblo, Denver, the Springs, your local meetings, okay, your close local event. And 50 points for each completed assignment each day. So those messages that I text out each day, you get 50 points for completing the assignment of that day. Okay, so there'll be different things for the next 30 days. Or no, 45, I don't know, whatever, 6 weeks. 300 points for attending Pacesetters in person or live. Now, if you're in Colorado and you're attending in person, so right now all of you are here that are here in person, give yourself 300 points. If you don't live in Colorado, you can give yourself 300 points for watching online live. That's the important part, live. If you don't live in Colorado, you get 150 points for watching online. Okay? So the key is, 100 points. Sorry, 100 points. If you guys are in Colorado, you get 100 points for watching online. Okay? If you listen to the recording, you get 100 points. If you guys are not local, like Kim, I can see is on there, and Deborah, you guys live in Florida. Hi. Which, can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, because I was having issues with Mike. Okay, good. Those of you that are in Colorado or in Florida or in other places and you're listening live, you give yourself 300 points. Got it? If you listen to the recording and can't make it live, you get 100 points. Simple enough, right? 300 points for moving up a level in the career path. So those of you that are consultants, you move to senior, 300 extra points. Those of you seniors, move to red, 300 extra points. Got it? Got it? 300 points for attending your weekly success meeting. You come to the meeting in person on Monday nights, you get 300 extra points. Because you guys, it is a given. If you want to be successful in this business, you've got to go to your weekly meetings. You've got to go. It's literally a make or break thing. I've never seen anyone be successful in their business without going to the weekly meetings. So you've got to make it a priority. And then those of you that are not local, same thing. If you watch live, 300 points. But if you're local and you're watching online, 150 points. And then here's this one. Put a star by this one. 25 points for every phone call to your director with positive news about your Mary Kay business. Did you say positive news about your Mary Kay business? I want to hear from you. You guys, if you really want to move up, you are my people. Those of you that are not in my unit, I want you messaging your director, okay? Because I want you building that relationship with your director. So 25 points for every phone call, because I prefer to talk in person or over the phone. Bless you.
Thank you.
And then 5 points for every Voxer message you send me. So, because I want to hear from you. And some of you, I don't hear from at all. And then, but most of you that are really working and running this as a business, we talk all the time. We're Voxing on the phone. I want to hear from you, okay? Because you guys know the hardest part about this business is right here in your head, right? That if you pull away, you get negative, we can't talk through that, right? So I want to hear from you, okay? Got it? Simple enough. You guys got the point system? You excited about that, to track these things? So do you see that if you have a 3 + 3 + 3 week, you get 500 for just hitting that in a week. Plus you get 300 for each class held, so that's another 900. Plus you would get the amount of sales you make, which is at least 300. Plus you'd get 100 for each interview. So when you have a 3 + 3 week, you're looking at over 2,000 points. You get that? That's exciting, right? So I want you to focus on consistency because Mary Kay Ash said you can go anywhere you want to go in this business doing 3 + 3 + 3. Replace any full-time job. Earn a free car by working consistently and working at full circle. And that is my hope and prayer of this is to build full circle consultants, which means you are booking, you're mastering how to get leads, you're mastering how to book, you're mastering how to hold appointments, you're mastering how to sell a ton of product at that appointment, and you're mastering the team building, and you're mastering moving up. You excited about doing all that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here we go. Any questions about points? Points. Okay, for those of you online, it keeps changing. I want to be able to see who's on there. And so I'm going to take a picture really quickly, but I also want you to text me if you're joining online. Okay, any questions? Any other questions? We're good? Okay, I'm moving this up really quickly because I want to see who is online, and I cannot see that really quickly. Sorry. Okay, one last thing. I'll take a picture of who's online. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump into some training. You ready? You ready? So each week, you're going to fill this out. You're going to track. Now, here's what I don't want you to do. Wait till, so you turn it in, you can text me a picture or whatever. Don't wait until Saturday morning and say, oh crap, let me go back and figure out what the heck I did last week. No, bad. I won't know either way. But I would encourage you, if you really want to maximize this, I would keep this in front of you. Say, look at your every day, say, how can I get points on here today? And it's exciting for me to start tracking my points. When you're not doing anything, this is not exciting. When you're doing stuff, this is exciting. So I want you to look every day, how can I get points today, right? Maybe it's just messaging Candace, telling her I'm having a bad day. I don't care. I want you keeping this in front of you. I want this to have coffee stains on it. I want it to be like messy when you turn it in because that means you're using it, okay? This is not, I can't say enough, this is not a report card. This is not to induce any sort of guilt. This is to keep you accountable because like I said before, and I'm going to say this again because a lot of people joined us since then. In Mary Kay, you don't have to do anything. And that is one of the best things and one of the worst things about this business is you don't have to be accountable to anybody. But I don't know, it's like having a personal trainer. When you pay to have a personal trainer, then you're much more likely to show up and much more likely to actually work out, right? That this is to help me help you. But I don't want you to look at me that I'm not here with any judgment. I'm here. This is just being accountable for your actions. Okay. It's just like when you want to lose weight, you want to write down what you eat, right? And nobody wants to do that because you want to be accountable. But tracking is powerful. Okay. So look at this as a really good thing that's going to get you where you want to go. And like I said, so now I'll rephrase it and then we'll move on. You graduate just for turning this in each week, even if it's a big fat 0. Because I want you accountable for your actions because sometimes the weeks that I had zeros and I didn't do what I wanted to do, I grew more because I don't want to ever turn that in again with a big fat 0. That there's a lot of power in saying, you know what, I didn't do anything this week, but here's my form. Okay? So I want to hear from you regardless, but you graduate by just showing up and turning this in. Simple. And then I'll rephrase that recap. I will be tracking the points, so there will be some competition for those of you that are competitive. But remember, you're competing against no one but yourself, okay? I want to see improvement. I want to see you growing, all right? So there'll be a prize for the highest points over the next 6 weeks. There'll also be a prize for the most improved, okay? And there'll also be a prize for the highest in sales and the highest in team building over the next 6 weeks, okay? So those of you prize-motivated people, there you go. All right, you ready to jump into some training? Yes. Here we go. All right, grab your pen and paper. Now, for those of you that I sent all the handouts to everybody because I wanted you guys all to have copies of them. You guys are gonna get them here, the copy version, but I also want you to know that I sent it all out. So if you looked at it, it's all leads and bookings, but I decided actually this morning to change things, to talk about something else really quickly that I think is one of the most important things about this business that is going to preface all the other skill-based stuff that I'm going to go over. Okay, you ready? So there's no handout for this because I want you to really listen and be engaged. Okay, so before I go over all the skills and make sure that you're competent with skills, one of the most single important things in this business is your attitude and how you're going to go into this. Because I can give you all the training in the world, but if you have a bad attitude, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So, you know, I can teach you how to meet people. I can teach you how to, but if you say, I can't do this, if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, this will never work for me. She just can do that because she's Candace. You know, nobody's going to say yes to me. If you're telling yourself that stuff, this is not going to work. Okay. So I'm telling you right now, the number one thing that I want you to, that I want to talk about before we get into this is your attitude. If you, Mary Kay always said that you can do everything, what is it? If you can do everything right with a bad attitude and not be successful. And you get that? You can do everything right with a bad attitude and not be successful. But get this, you can do everything wrong. You can butcher everything. You can say everything backwards with a good attitude and be successful in this business. That the key is right between your own two ears, you guys. So if, you know, and so if you're going to say, if you're saying I'm bothering people, nobody wants to buy stuff, I'm not a salesperson, I don't want to pressure them. I can't tell you how many times I hear that from you guys. And it kills me because you're shooting yourself in the foot. And I know it's because you doubt yourself and you're afraid, but you've got to stop saying that stuff out loud. Because if you're saying it out loud, then that means it's 10 times worse in your head. So I want you to catch yourself anytime you hear yourself saying anything negative about yourself, about your business. So some key ones that I hear all the time are, I'm not a salesperson. I feel like I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be pushy. No one wants to buy anything. I really don't think I can do this. I suck at warm chattering. I suck at closing. I suck at team building. I suck at whatever you suck at. Because we can find lots of things. Well, and here's the thing is we're so hard on ourselves as women. We're used to doing that. And I am telling you firsthand because I get it. And I'm not saying don't do this because I've never done it. I'm the worst. But I'm telling you that that's the biggest blessing I've received in this company is that I've learned to think more positively about my business, but about myself more importantly. Okay. So just know that I want you catching yourself. I want you just noticing it and saying, oh, not doing that again. And catching it and then saying, I can sell this stuff. I am powerful. And we'll talk about a couple things I want you to say in a minute. It's going to sound cheesy, but you don't say this out loud. Okay. You can say, no, you say it out loud, just you're alone. You're not like, walking around the room. Everyone, you make it some weird looks, okay? Well, you can. Feel free to do whatever you want. It's better you say that than be an Eeyore, okay? Y'all know Eeyores? Yeah. I used to be an Eeyore, so I'm telling you now I'm a Tigger. So anyone can be a Tigger. Everyone wants to. Tiggers are way more fun. So it's better to say, I'm bold, I'm great at this, I'm confident than, I said. But y'all have done it. Okay, so and your attitude is something that other people can actually see. They can hear it in your voice. They hear it in your voice. It's in the way you move and feel it when they're with you. Your attitude expresses itself in everything that you do all the time. Positive attitude is going to invite positive results. Negative attitude is going to invite negative results. And so I just want to preface all this with that, you know, you could be saying everything perfectly, but if you have a bad attitude, it's not going to work. Okay. So, and it exudes about you. Attitude makes a difference every hour, every day, everything that you do in your entire life. If you have a negative attitude, it's going to work against you, blah, 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 blah. If you have a positive attitude, you're going to be looking for ways to solve problems that you can solve. And you're letting go of things that you have no control over. If you have a negative attitude, you know, you're constantly looking for the bad things. You're always looking for what's wrong. So I want you to be, one of the big differences that I've learned is, you know, when you have a negative attitude, you're always looking what's wrong. You know, oh, I can't do this because of this, 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 and this. And look at all the reasons why it couldn't work out. You guys can have me put your phones away just because I want you guys present. If you're taking notes by them, then I can give you paper. And then if you have a positive attitude, you're looking for solutions. You're looking for ways that you can make this work. Does that make sense? Okay, couple of things. Adopting a positive attitude takes practice. Here are a couple of things. I want you to write these down because it's really important. Here are some things that help. I want you guys writing on it. It's too distracting on your phones. And then I think you're texting and not actually taking notes. So it bothers me. So even if you're, sorry, I love you. Because then your phone goes off when you're in the middle of writing a note. Okay, here's some things that help you make a positive attitude. Number one, compare yourself only to yourself. One of the biggest problems that I see with women is we're comparing ourselves to other people. And I mean, even at the top, as a top director, I just shared this, you know, on the top director trip, that even as a top director in Mary Kay, I would compare myself to other top directors. You guys, it'll kill you and it'll bring you down faster than anyone else. Okay? Don't compare yourself to anyone else. This is a big one. Talk about your Mary Kay business only with balcony people. What is a balcony person?
Someone.
Yes. Someone who is either above you or has gone where you want to go, or someone positive and supports your business. There are plenty of people out there who are negative Nellies and who are going to complain, and they're going to tell you, oh, why are you going to do that Mary Kay thing? That's crazy. You don't really need to do that, because they're not willing to step out and do something brave and bold and courageous in their life. And the people that are most afraid to really step up and go for something are the first to criticize. So a balcony person is someone who is in your amen corner. Okay, so I'm a balcony person. Okay, you can share that to me, because I believe in you more than anything, and I support you and am so committed to your success. So only because, okay, I can tell you I've seen this happen the other way. If someone's not super supportive of your business and you're sharing with them maybe some frustrations or some concerns, they'll be the first to say, don't do that. Why would you do that? And some of the worst can be your own husband. I love husbands, but husband's natural tendency is to protect. And when they see that you're, that you're afraid, or that you're frustrated, or that you're not, getting what you want, they naturally going to be like, oh, why would you do that? Don't do that. I'll provide and I'll save for you. You don't need to do all that crazy Mary Kay stuff. So just know it's out of good. And it's not, I'm not saying anything bad. It's because they care about you. It's their manliness. But those aren't the people that always share your frustrations with about your business. If you're frustrated, you reach up. Because I can tell you, Sarah, I've been there. Sabriel, I've been there. Sam, I've been there. And this is what I've done because I've been there. Right? Does that make sense? So balcony people, only share with balcony people. And I've even had to learn, my own husband, he is very supportive, but there's certain things I don't share with him. Because he naturally be like, oh, honey, like my vanilla. Does that make sense? And it doesn't mean he's not supportive. I just know he loves me. And I know that there's other people I share different things with. Does that make sense? If you don't have a husband, you don't have to worry about that. So it's cool. Here's a big one to help you with your positive attitude. Read or listen to something positive every day. That's why we have the $1 Million Message. That's why I send out Voxer messages, is because I want you constantly listening to positive stuff. Because if you haven't noticed, our world is naturally negative. And there's just turn on the news. Like, there's so much negative stuff out there that you have to be obsessed with filling your mind with positive stuff. Okay. Here's another big one, is learn to find opportunity in every obstacle. Learn to find opportunity in every obstacle. Who was I talking to? I was talking to a consultant the other day, and I loved it because it was a perfect example of turning an opportunity into an obstacle, and that her appointment canceled. And instead of saying, oh, I'm going to sit on the couch, I'm so miserable. Of course, she was frustrated, but she said, I'm going to use this time to go out and meet some people because there's obviously someone out there that I need to talk to and need to run into. That is finding an opportunity in every obstacle. Yes, she wanted to have an appointment during that time slot, but instead of being like, oh, blah, 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 and going into a negative Nelly mode, she chose to say, you know what, I have this time set aside for my business. Okay, it didn't work the way that I had planned. I'm going to go out and meet people because there's some people out there that I need to talk to that I probably want to be able to get a hold of because during this time, because I would have been at my party. Does that make sense? So learning to turn opportunities in every obstacle into an opportunity, or find the opportunity in an obstacle, okay? Instead of just looking at it as an obstacle. So there's some things, a couple other things. Are you a yeah but person or an oh yeah person? A yeah but person means you are saying nobody wants to book, I can't get anyone to buy, this doesn't work, I can't blank. What is your fill in the blank? I can't this, I can't that, I can't this, I'm too busy, I can't blah, blah, blah. But an oh yeah person says you ask questions. Instead of saying I can't, and focusing on their own, you ask questions and say, what is working? How can I overcome this obstacle? What do I need to change? Who can support me? You see the difference? Where a yeah but person is looking for what's wrong and focusing on the obstacle, where an oh yeah and a solution-minded person is asking questions. How can I change this? What tweaks do I need to make? That make sense? What you focus on will take you up or down. Okay, the last thing about attitude is I want you to write some of these down and I can send it out. Oh no, I lied. There's a couple more things I'm going to go over. But words are powerful. Your words are powerful. It can change your life. Learn to say these things to yourself. I want you to just write down some of these. I can send them out too. I am powerful. I am attractive. Oh yeah, you can say them. I am bold. I am faithful. I am positive. I am healthy. I am a successful consultant. I am moving forward. And I'll send this to you, but say exchange this with this. Okay, so Exchange, I'm busy, it's hard, I react, I have to, I'm stressed, I can't. I hear women say this all the time. I'm so busy. It's so hard. I react. I have to. You want to become happy in your life? Take the word have to or should out of your vocabulary. Write that down. Take the words have to and should out of your vocabulary. And you will, okay, so because they have negative connotations. I have to make booking calls. I should go to the gym. I should go to my meeting. I have to talk to this person. I have to eat right. Do you see how that's negative? And that it's judgmental and there's no positive connotation to that. And we do it all day long. Now I want you to change I'm busy to I'm purposeful. You change it's hard to it's challenging. Challenge is a good thing, you guys. It's a good thing. But stop telling yourself it's hard. Because if you tell yourself it's hard, then it will be hard. Say it's challenging, and I accept the challenge. You see how it's different? I react to I respond. So change I react, I respond. The have to thing that I went off on, the have to, the should, you change those for I want to. I get to. I choose to. That's a big one. I choose to. Then it induces that you have a choice. So I'm going to show you how this is way more positive. I get to go to my meeting. I choose to go to my gym. I choose to eat healthy. I want to make booking calls. I get to go talk to someone today. Do you see how that's different? Much more positive. And you're much more likely to do it when you're saying those little tweaks. Does that make sense? So these are things that I want you guys catching yourself, because I can give you all the training in the world, but you've got to work on really changing what you're saying to yourself, because it exudes from some of you guys, where there's some really positive stuff exuding and there's some really negative stuff exuding. And I know it's because it's habits and it usually stems from low self-esteem. But I want you working on that, because that's the biggest blessing I've received in this company, is how it's changed me as a person. But I had to work at it. It's not something that I woke up one day and, oh, I'm a Tigger. No, Tigger took 13 years in the making. All right? You see Tigger now, you didn't see the metamorphosis over the years of falling down and getting back up and being determined to catch myself. Does that make sense? Okay. And then the other thing you can say is, I'm stretching and I can find a way. I can find a way. I can find a way. Okay. Instead of saying I can't, because that's the first thing that we want to say, because we give up. Because when you say can't, you just give up. But if you change your mindset to say I can find a way, you will find a way. Got it? Here's the last couple things about attitude, I promise. Tips from the top. When frustrated, reach out. When you're frustrated, the first thing women want to do, and I'm not stupid because I see it happen all the time, is they pull away. I don't want to bother Candace. I don't want to, and so you go and complain to someone else. When you're frustrated, some of the best conversations I have is when I get phone calls from someone saying, Candace, I'm really struggling. Let's talk. I love those conversations, because we can have a conversation instead of I'm fine, I know you're not fine. Okay, so when frustrated, reach out. Y'all know it because y'all have done it, and then you're getting bitter. Then you get bitter, and I'm here to tell you that I want to work with you, but I can't work with you if you hide and you're not honest with me. I love, Nikki, that you're open and honest about your struggles. That is so warming to my heart, because that means you're willing to work on them. All right. Forgive yourself and others quickly. Don't beat yourself up. We would be write this down somewhere. You would be so much further along in your business right now if you didn't beat yourself up. Did that resonate with anyone? You'd be so much further along with your business if you didn't beat yourself up. Because I can't tell you how many times I hear people, oh, I missed this goal, I'm never gonna blah blah blah. Oh, I did this. Oh, I sold $300, but I did this wrong and this wrong and this wrong. Why not focus on the $300 that you just sold? That stop beating yourself up. Attend everything. Write that down, put a big star next to it. Give props to yourself, especially those of you here in person, that you attended this and you showed up. And some of you had to figure out some huge obstacles to get you, but you showed up, because that's huge. Attend to everything. Never, never, never give up. Never, never, never give up. I believe I'm here because I was too stubborn to quit. And I was like, no. And people told me I could do this. And I had people make fun of me and laugh at me and tell me that this would never work out. And bless you. And that made me more determined to not give up. That one of the things, I'm going to go off on a little tangent for a minute. Do you know one of the number one frustrations I think I have with people in our society is they don't commit to anything. They don't commit to anything. They're so quick to just jump from this to this and to not stick with things. Make a decision that you're going to stick with this. You're going to give it enough time. No one gets rich, and no one, is a success story in a month. This takes time. It took me 13 years to get this point. And I'm not telling you that it's going to take 13 years, but obviously I was successful along the way, but I'm just telling you that I know you guys look at me and think, oh, I can never be like her. This is 13 years in the making. Right? But you've got to make a decision that you're not going to give up on this. And that this isn't just going to be something that you start and then you quit. Right? That you make a decision, I'm not going to do this. And that you don't just always be looking for the way out. I also see people say, you know what? I'm going to try this and we'll see if it works. If it works, great. But if it doesn't work, great. You're looking for a reason for it not to work. You're looking for a reason for it not to work. That you've got to stop thinking that, because it's never going to work. If you're looking for the bottom to fall out, then it will, because you are looking for that. Does that make sense? So make a decision. I'm going to give it a year. I'm going to give it 2 years. I'm going to give it 5 years. I'm going to give it however long it takes to figure it out. Make a decision to never give up. Be willing to change. Be willing to change and grow. Discover your purpose. It's bigger than your need. If you really are operating out of purpose, you can go anywhere you want to go. A couple other things is focus on others, not on what's wrong with you. Focus on other people. Going through these fast. Feed your mind, your heart, and your spirit daily. Daily. Use your faith and trust that God has you here for a purpose. And he wants to do something with you. But you got to stick with it and let him use you. All right. So there's attitude. Got it? Everyone have a little attitude check before we jump into all this. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you guys? You're going to work on your attitudes, all right? Because that is key to this whole process. All right? I wish I had something in here that could be like, check your attitude every day. But I want you mentally check. That's something that there's no like, oh, do this, 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 and this. It's something you have to work on and make a conscious effort. So those are some things to help. Does that help? Those are some things you focus on. Okay, so now we're going to get into the actual skill-based, okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about, which is where it all starts, and that's getting leads, right? Everybody needs leads. If you're going to be successful in this business, you have got to talk to somebody and have somebody to talk to, right? I'm going to have you pass that back there. So we're going to go over this, first of all, Pacesetter lead scripts. And we will be doing some role playing, because I want you saying it out loud and getting comfortable with it coming out of your voice. I'm going to pass this around too. And that's the Fabulous Referrals game. And then who do you know? So don't stare at it all. We're just passing it out right now. But if you've watched my new consultant training, you have seen the basics about booking, okay? Or about leads. There's a million ways to meet people. Everyone got one? You got one of the leads things. So here we go. I'm going to run through the most popular ones. There's millions of ways to get leads. Millions and millions and millions of ways to get leads. But the key is you have to implement them and do them.
We need more of these.
You need more of those.
I got more of
those. They have more over there. I should have 20.
Okay.
Pass those around. Okay. We're going to start with this one first. This one first, okay? The leads script as far as what to say. Okay, so we're going to start with referrals, because at your parties, which by the way, a lot of this I copied from, and some of them are things you haven't seen before, from National Sales Director Pat Fortenberry, which if you don't know who she is, when I did my Go Director Fast class, she's like made $800,000 a year, like consistently. She won the top earning national. So this is something she taught her people, so it kind of works. Okay. You have enough? Did everyone have 3 handouts?
I'm missing one.
Okay. Well, it's all in your email, so y'all can look at each other's stuff. And I have extra here, but I'm going to use it for my training, and then I can give you this one if you want. Okay. So referrals. We're going to start with referrals. One of the great ways to get referrals is through the Fabulous Referral Game, which you all have this. And if you come to an event, a lot of times I'll just do the referrals on the back of your card. But if you really, now you have to be willing to invest to do this. And at my own personal parties, I do the Fabulous Referral Game. I don't do it at an event because not everyone's willing to give away this free product, but you got to give to get. And those of you that have inventory, this is definitely going to help with that. Yeah, go for it. Yes, you're allowed to. No, you're not. You have to hold it. Okay, so this is the fabulous referral game. And I know you guys are really serious about getting your business going. You can get, if each person gave you 20 names, and I'm at 3 people there, that's 60 names that you can get at an appointment. Katie Goldstein, the girl that she came in and she's 20-something, 23, 24, and did million her first year, she uses this a ton. And she swears by this. And so it works is all I'm saying. But there's a couple things I'll go over. So I'll run through the scripts really quickly, but you give them this sheet, okay? So we're gonna go through both the things. On this handout, I go through what to say. Okay, so tell your customers up front that you're not gonna be harassing their friends and family and that referrals are the lifeline of your Mary Kay business. You don't normally want to play the referral game between the skincare portion and the color portion of your party. You give them 3 to 5 minutes to write down as many names as they possibly can. Here's the script that so you hand out that paper and you say, I really appreciate all of you coming today to help, whatever, Becky out, the hostess name. How does your face feel? Blah, blah, blah. Great. I'm on a mission to facial 30 ladies this month, and you being here helped me get closer to reaching my goal. One of the ways that we keep the pampering going is through the referral game. It's a lifeline of our business because eventually we run out of people that we know, and so we rely on our customers to help us keep passing on the pampering. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to write down as many ladies as you can. Make sure, maybe they just had a baby or they work a lot and they need to be pampered. Maybe they just need to be loved on. You can pass on the pampering to them and help me with my goal at the same time. It's a win-win. So let me ask you, here's the key. If you were on a deserted island, what would one glamour item be that you would just have to have? Would it be a lip gloss, mascara, lipstick? Think of that item and write it down at the top of your paper. So they're writing it down at the top of this paper. What is their one color item, lip gloss, mascara, whatever. They write down what would be their one favorite item. And then you say, all right, now you want to know how you can get that item for free? When you hit 20 names, when you get 20 names in 5 minutes, you get that glamour item of your choice for free. And then I usually tell them if you do 10, I'll give you that item at half off, okay? So basically you're giving a color item for free and they give you 20 names. So you gotta be willing to give those color items because they're gonna give you 20 names. And if you do a mascara that's like $7 our cost, I think it's worth it. You know, it's totally worth it to get 20 names. Okay, don't worry, I'm not gonna call and harass your friends. I'm super busy, so if they're not interested in the pampering, I'm just gonna pass it on to someone else. You can cheat and grab your phone. So got it, grab your phones. Okay, and your mark, get set, go. And you let them have 5 minutes. And then after you say, all right, time's up, let's see who's earned their glamour item. Yay, way to go, Susie. And then speaking of glamour, let's move on. So you give them 5 minutes. Here's something that is not on here, which I think is really important. I want you to write this down. One of the things that I think really helps with referrals is if you leave the room. You're not sitting there staring at them. I've had people say, oh, I don't get referrals. Well, are you sitting there saying, hey, you know, give me referrals, and you sit and stare at them? Because, or you're talking to them. You're not going to get referrals because they will get busy. They'll get distracted. Do we need to shut those? You guys doing okay? If you need to shut those lights, we can go. Okay. So that helps. I leave the room at my own party. So what that would mean is I would say, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Okay. Or I'm going to run to my car real quick. Like, because if you're sitting there saying ready, set, go, and then you're staring at them, or you're talking to them, like, I see people do this all the time. Here's the game. And then they start talking to them. No, you don't talk to them. You let them do their thing. You leave, and then you come back. You will get way more referrals. Does that help? Okay, so the fabulous referral game. Another one that I got from one of my friends on the top director trip, which I know you guys haven't seen this because this is from another $1 Million director friend, is this guy. Who do you know? So you can do one of two things. Don't do both. You do one of two things. Does that make sense? Or you could say you can decide whatever you want. But it says at the top, the best compliment you give me is to share me with your friends. Fill out this form and receive a free gift from me. I will gift each of your friends with a $25 gift card and a complimentary makeover session from you as well. Thank you. And what it does, which I really like, is it gives you different types of people. The millennial, she's over 20 and under 30 and proud of it. Young, smart, driven, independent, and fierce. Fabulous 50, she's in her 50s, fabulous, fun, and everyone loves her. She's active and vivacious. The party girl, themed or impromptu, smaller, large, whatever. So you can go through it all, the initiator, the engaged girl, the comedian, the connector, the trendsetter, the go-getter, the competitor, the beauty expert, and the adventurer. What I like it is that you kind of know who you're talking to when you call this person. Does that make sense? So I kind of like that one as well. So you guys get to pick whatever. But I would be sure to ask for referrals at your appointments. You're shooting yourself in the foot to not. Did you get that one? Or this one? Okay. Okay. Any questions about for anyone? Shutting that door. Okay. Any questions about that? Ask for referrals. Don't be afraid of giving away product to make money. Referrals. And here's another little thing about referrals that can really help increase your holding rate. If you take a picture, like let's say I'm at Becky's party and she gives me 20 referrals. If I take a picture of me and Becky, a little selfie afterwards, the before and or the after she's done with the makeover, we take a before and after picture of me and Becky. And then when I text or call her referrals, which we'll talk about later, you know, if I text a picture of me and Becky to her referrals, you're going to totally increase your holding ratio because they know that I really do know Becky. And I'm not just saying, oh yeah, I randomly got your number. And then they can see that I'm fun and they can see who I am. You're not just a random number. Does that make sense? So little things like that are so write that down. That's not in the notes, but write that down because that's going to help you increase, when you get these referrals, help increase the holding ratio. Another thing that if this happens, which doesn't happen all the time, if I tell Becky, hey Becky, can you text your friends right now and let them know? And I'll send her a text of what to say, then she's a lot more likely to actually, you're a lot more likely to get the bookings to hold. Does that make sense? Okay. So basically you would instruct her what to say, and basically you would just say, all right, Becky, tell them you just met with this fabulous person. You guys had so much fun that she's going to be contacting you for a free gift. But if Becky texts them and tells them, then when I contact them, then they know, right? That I'm not this random person calling out of the blue. So that's really how you maximize referrals and how it can really work for you. But what I find is a lot of consultants are just saying, hey, yeah, the back of the profile card, if you want to fill it out, great. If not, no big deal, let's move on. And not giving them the time to fill it out and not really explaining how it works to maximize it. Does that make sense? So does that help anybody? Does it help anybody? Okay, so there's what referrals. Other thing you can do, this one that I really like, so moving on, going down on this paper, honoring working women. This is a great way to meet professional business women and make them feel important. You'll want to purchase 1 to 2 dozen roses. Of course, we use the wooden roses. Print off copies of the entry forms. I use just a very simple entry form that literally just has I can email it to you guys, name, number, and can I text you? Very simple, because you don't want this long form. If you have this really long form, then they get overwhelmed and they don't fill anything out, right? I literally just want, it says, so my form says name, number, can I text you, and do you have a consultant? That's all it says. So, because, yeah, it doesn't need to be crazy.
Is that form listed somewhere on your website?
I'll email it out. I'll email it. It's on my website, or I don't know where it is, but I'll make sure you guys get it. I'll make sure you guys get it. So I just have those entry forms and I put them on a clipboard, the little like tiny clipboards. So I walk in with flowers and a clipboard, and I literally walk in and say, and it says right here, hello, we're with Mary Kay. We're honoring professional women by giving out roses today. Would you like one, or which color would you like? That's it. So I would go into like offices, like you can go to a strip mall or I've gone into doctor's offices and dental offices and wherever, like you can go at any time, wherever, banks, and you just take flowers in and you honor working women. And they love it. They love it.
Is this for the vegetable drawing on your website?
That's not the one I use, but that's, that's another one. There's lots of them. You just find what works for you. Mine, the one that I use all the time is very, 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 very simple. So you raise your hand, you just No, it's okay.
My shirt up. You can do it with chocolate too.
Yep, you do chocolates as well. If you don't have flowers, go ahead and just say I'm honoring working women with I don't use that one. Yeah. Oh, the clipboard. That's just the example of the clipboard.
Well, I was thinking it was simple because it just has 2 lines for them to fill out. Because they're more likely to just give you their name and number rather than their address.
Right. Yeah, that's one I use. So I'll send it to you guys. And then those little clipboards, you want to definitely use those. Okay. So you go in, whatever you're doing, chocolates or flowers, you say, hey, I'm honoring working women with chocolates or flowers, whatever they pick. And you can go get names quickly. When I was in Virginia with Darby, we went in like 45 minutes. And I don't remember how we got like 15, 16 names in like 45 minutes. So doing these type of things work, and you're getting professional women who have jobs. Mm-hmm. So, and that's something you can do easily. Does that make sense? Go with a buddy or whatever if you don't want to go by yourself. But that I really like that way to meet people.
then do you just call them back to set up a facial? Or?
Great question. It's all in the script right
Okay.
here. So once you say, would you like a flower? Then you say, we're also doing a drawing for free products, and you can sign up if you don't have a consultant. It says don't chit chat. You don't want to chit chat too much because they're at work, right? And so then you just say, and so you give them the clipboard and you literally just say, hey, we're doing a drawing for free Mary Kay and free pampering. Go ahead and fill this out real quick. So a lot of times, I mean, just whatever comes out of my mouth. More importantly but more importantly, it's more about your confidence and those nonverbal things. Like if you walk into there saying, oh, I'm bothering these people, and oh, they're not going to like it, and oh, I don't want to be a burden, and you're like shrunk back, they don't matter what you say. You can say all the script perfectly. But if I walk in there and I'm confident and I'm like here to honor her and bless her and I'm a ray of sunshine and I'm a Tigger, she's excited no matter what I say. Does that make sense? That it's not necessarily about the script. It's, that I don't know, it's something like 80 to 85% of communication is nonverbal. That it's more about eye contact. It's huge. You guys, people, I see consultants like walk up to someone and I even look at them. Like, look at them. You're going to be nervous. I understand you're nervous. Your heart's going to go pitter patter, but try really hard to keep eye contact and to stand tall and to speak loudly. Speak loudly. Not yell at them, but one time, I'm here to give hope. One time, I remember I was excited about something. I literally was like spitting on this lady. Spit on her. It was very embarrassing. I was excited. I gotta remember though because you laughed about it. I would not recommend that, but I was just excited. But I make fun of myself all the time, you guys, and I have fun with it. I say dumb things. I say the dumbest things. If you guys would come out and hear the things that I say, but I laugh at myself. And they see that I'm a real person. That I'm not this perfect person saying everything perfectly. I'm my little robot. No, you gotta connect with people, right? Let them know you're a real person, okay? Okay, so you walk in, I'm honoring working women today, because a lot of times when you walk in, they're like, how can I help you? And you're like, I'm actually here to help you. Like, do you like a flower? And you'd be surprised they're holding you. It's really cool. And say, I'll pick up flyer and say, I'm with Mary Kay. I'm also giving away pampering packages or giving away some free Mary Kay. And I give her the clipboard. The key is eye contact. I'm giving her the clipboard, putting it in her hand, literally as we're talking about it. Okay, does that make sense? The power of suggestion is huge.
Do you ask if they want to fill it out, or do you just give it to them?
Hand it to them.
You don't ask if they want to fill it out, because then you're giving them away to say no. The power of suggestion is huge. And not that you're being pushy, but they'll tell you no if they don't want it. They'll tell you no if they don't want it. You say, but I do say, we're giving away pampering packages. Go ahead and fill this out. She'll say no. Yeah, believe me, you get plenty of no's. But all these little things really help you get the yeses. Does that make sense? That if you're walking up to someone and saying, well, would you like to enter? You don't have to enter, but it's okay. You don't have to. Like, you're giving the way out, and right away they're going to take the way out. That your confidence is everything. Your confidence is everything. But you're not pushing them, so I'm not saying that. You're just, the power of suggestion is huge, okay? And so much of those nonverbal things are the key. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Restaurant and booth. So it gives you a script as far as what to say. So I'm contacting her and I'm giving her a free pampering session. Normally there's not any other booking scripts in here, but this one had it with it. So I did my drawing and you were one of my winners. Do you know what you won? You won X amount of free products and free pampering package for you and 1 to 2 of your girlfriends. This includes a facial, lip treatment, quick look for you. I'm calling to set up a time to pick out your pick out your free goodies and be pampered. What works best for you? Beginning of the week, end of the week, you have 2 choices. You go straight into booking, and we'll go more into booking a little bit later. But that's what you say after you contact them. Make sense? These next 2 are 2 that I love as well. Okay, so referrals are okay. You can work a business off referrals, but the key, if you guys have heard me speak about leads, is you need at least 5 different sources of leads at all times. Don't just bank on 1 source of leads, okay? You want to have 5 different sources. Write that down somewhere and put a big star by it. 5 different sources of leads coming in at all times, okay? So you want referrals. You want to book parties from parties, which we'll go over that when we go over booking. But booking parties from parties is one of the best ways to get new names, or to get bookings. The other thing is honoring working women. You could do that. A restaurant or a booth. So I like to do this. you get into a restaurant, you got to get permission first, and basically you go into a restaurant and you say, I'm interested in doing a customer appreciation with your restaurant, where I'll come in and I'll hand out flowers and give away free Mary Kay. And I usually will purchase a gift to the restaurant, or sometimes the restaurant will actually donate it. And so I'm standing there, they're entering to win a drawing. Only one person wins the actual drawing to the restaurant, but everyone else wins free Mary Kay. Does that make sense? And so now getting into the restaurant is the issue. So you want to ask a lot of different places to find a restaurant. I mean, I've asked 10, 20 restaurants to get into one or two. So don't just ask one restaurant, okay? Big chain restaurants, you're not always going to be able to get into. Smaller restaurants like Mexican restaurants, I love smaller Mexican restaurants, or steakhouses or bakeries, and getting into smaller restaurants are really good. But once you get a partnership with a restaurant, you can come back week after week. It's awesome. So think about restaurants, go do that. And then a booth. I was at the Chili Fest last night. Some of you are working the Chili Fest later today. It was awesome. I love doing booths. Love doing booths. What you do, so down here at the bottom script, at a restaurant or a booth, I like flowers or samples, either or. And if I'm at a restaurant, then I would say, welcome to the restaurant. We're handing out flowers for all the women tonight. And you'd be surprised, once again, how their demeanor just totally changes by this silly flower. It's the weirdest thing. The flowers are 10 cents each, you guys, but I'll go to people's houses, a week or whatever, 2 weeks later, and actually do their facial. And literally their flower is sitting somewhere of importance. Like it's on the kitchen table. It's on their car, their dashboard. It's in their bathroom. They hold on to that little 10-cent flower, so don't discount those. It's definitely worth it. So I have a box in my car. I always have them that you can use. So at a restaurant, I'm standing there in the entryway handing out flowers to women as they come in. And then I say, after giving the flower, I say, we're also doing a drawing for free Mary Kay and a gift to the restaurant. Would you like to enter? Or, go ahead and fill out this form right here. Like, the power of suggestion is huge. You don't say, I don't know, you want to do all the things you can to give that power of suggestion to have them fill out the form. Does that make sense? And then doing a booth, it's the same thing. We're at the Chili Fest, and I do samples or flowers, kind of depending on, like I did samples earlier in the day, and then it got dark, and I did flowers, okay? So, because I couldn't see the sample colors, I couldn't see what I had. I'm like, just pick one. I think there's some browns and some purples in there. So, but I like eyeshadow samples because they're cheap. And I have like a little flat plate, and I have a bunch of eyeshadow samples. So as people are walking by, like, would you like a free sample? Would you like a free sample? Would you like a free sample? And then they're like, samples of what? Eyeshadow. And then they pick, and I'm asking, you want brown, purple, blah, 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 whatever. I want them to pick a sample. And during that time, okay, so the flower, the sample, the chocolate, whatever you're using is a way to invite people in. It's a way to invite people in. If you just walk up to them and say, hey, you want to enter our drawing, you'll get shot down almost every time. And you get shot down a ton. Believe me, I probably got, 6 no's for every one yes. You're going to get a lot of no's when you're doing a Chili Fest or whatever, where there's swarms of people everywhere, but you're also going to get the yeses, right? And so, would you like a sample? Pick, they're picking through. And as she's looking, I want to strike up as much conversation as I can with her, because you want to build that relationship with her as much as you can. And then after she picked her sample or her flower, then I hand her the clipboard and say, hey, go ahead and enter to win our drawing. We're giving away free Mary Kay. And then she enters to win. Okay? Got it? Okay, does that all make sense?
So you're not walking around with a clipboard giving them
No.
You're just having them look through the samples and then offering.
You got it. Well, like at a booth, and especially at a restaurant, I'm standing in one place. They're coming to me.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Even
So
at
if
the
you're
Chili Fest, you're not out in the
no Chili Fest, like we had a booth. So you're going to be sitting at the booth in front of your booth. The booth will be set up, has a little display. The display doesn't matter, by the way. In fact, it was super windy. Everything fell over. So we had like 3 things. We had like 3 things out there. It doesn't matter. The display does not matter. What matters is that you are connecting with the person, because very few people actually look at the display. And so you're connecting with them. So it's your job to get out there and be talking to them. Hey, would you like a free flower? Would you like a free flower? And the kids are the best. If the kids are walking by, I ask the kid if she wants a flower. And then they bring the kids in, and then bring mom. And then, yeah, I got Chelsea through her daughter. Yeah, Chelsea was like, no, and her daughter wanted one. I'm like, yes, And then you're talking, and then they know like you're a nice person. You're talking to their kid. Everyone loves to dote on their kid, right? And then I'm like, and we're doing a drawing for free Mary Kay for the moms. Does that make sense? And then you shut your mouth. All right? That's important too. Okay, because
That's the hard one.
all right, any questions about that? Okay, and then the last way to meet people is warm chattering, which is not, I mean, well, there's a couple other that we'll go over. Warm chattering is not on here, but it's super simple. Warm chattering, you can do a lot of different ways, but it usually freaks most people out, okay? It freaks most people out. That's why I talk about all the other ones first. But basically it's just carrying samples. You can do it a lot of different ways. I carry samples in my purse, and when I run into someone and she's nice, that's very important. She's a negative Nelly and won't even talk to me about the weather, and she's grumpy. I'm not going to ask her, okay? That is just asking for it. But if she's nice, then some of y'all do this to yourself, and I'm like, she looks like a grump face. Like, why would you go talk to her? Smile at people. That's a big indicator. If you smile at someone and she smiles back, that's a good sign. Okay. Anyways, so I hand out samples and I say, you were super sweet. Can I give you a sample? You know, and everyone loves samples. I've never had anyone tell me no as far as, you know, when I'm meeting people like that. And like, let's say someone at the grocery store or wherever, I'll give them a free sample. So that's what I do. I was warm chattered, so I know it works. And the lady just came up to me with her business card and said, I'm handing out cards for free facials. Would you like one? Literally, that's all she told me. And I found that the sample thing works more for me. So you've got to find what works in your personality, right? And make it your own and just be talking to people and be blessing other people, okay? All right, so it's warm chattering. There was one other thing that I'd never seen before, and the lady that, I'll pass around both of these so you can hand out both of those. The other thing that I'll go over real quick, and then I'm gonna have you guys role play, is this right here, 100 leads in a week. And, oh, I lied, sorry. Oh, not that one, those two. Yeah, there you go, those two. Okay, so these sheets. This is how to get 100 leads in a week. So those of you watching online, pull up this handout, how to get 100 leads in a week. That I'm just giving you lots of ideas because remember, you need to have 5 different sources. So I'd recommend doing a few of these. There's lots of ways to meet people, but these are some of my favorites, okay? I've never done this 100 leads things, but it looked like a cool idea and very simple, and so there you go. If you want to use it, great. If not, that's totally fine. But it goes through all the information. I'm not going to, you guys are smart women, you can read. But as you guys are passing that sheet around, I'll just kind of give you the basics. You take a gallon Ziploc bag with the kind of zipper so stuff won't fall out. Important. You take 10 skincare surveys, which is this that I passed out. And this may be a little bit long, so I've never done it because I don't want to contradict what I just said. You don't want to have something super, super long. An ink pen with a curly ribbon on it so it won't get lost too. The lookbook and our beauty book and several business cards and a few sales tickets. You make 10 of these bags. You call 10 women you know and you ask them to help you. These should be chatty Cathys, okay? So you contact 10 chatty Cathys, all right? And women who know a lot of people, women who work in an office around women, women who head up communities and they like to talk, okay? And this is what you say to them. And we're on number 3 for those of you that just got your hand out, okay? So you say, hey, Betty, I need your help. I've been challenged to get 100 skincare surveys filled out this week, but I don't know 100 women. However, I do know 10 women who know 10 women. Would you take 10 of these surveys to work and ask 9 other women to fill out one? For helping me out, you can select an item you want from my catalog at half off, or offer a gift, a hand cream for customer program, or some other of her discontinued items. So basically, she's gonna go meet people for you, and it's kind of like getting referrals, but you're it's a little bit different. You're getting all their information, and they're filling out a survey. So this survey is a little bit different than walking up to a stranger at the grocery store and you just want their name and number. This is someone they know, they're at work, they have more time. Does that make sense? So that's how it's a little bit different. Deliver the bags to your 10 helpers, and this is important too. I'm going to start by this one. Set a definite time to pick up the bag within 48 to 72 hours. Let her see you write the appointment in your date book. So what that means is you would say, hey, I'm going to give you these skincare surveys, and I'm going to come back in 48 hours to get them. And you set a time that you're coming back because you've got to give her a deadline. You know, sometimes people do these things and they just send it out, and then the person's going to wait till the end anyways, or they'll lose the surveys or whatever. You got to give them a short time frame so that she can go get those names for you of her coworkers. Does that make sense? And then when you pick them up, you'll call those who want facials and say stuff like that, and it gives you a script as far as what to say. Here are averages after doing this for 10 years. If you give out and get back all 10 bags, you'll have 65 to 75 names. So you see, it's not the full 100. Not everyone's going to give you the full 100. But at this business, it's all about numbers. You know, you ask enough people, you're going to get enough numbers, right? Not everyone will get all 10 done. Out of those, about 20 to 25 will check that they're not interested or they have a consultant. Out of the 40 to 45 that are left, if you call them, you'll book about 25. About half of those will hold. You'll end up holding 12 to 15 classes. If they average $300 a party, that's about $5,000 in sales. So I think it's worth it to give out the 10 bags, right? And it doesn't take much of your time either. That's the really important thing. Those of you that are super busy, this is something that you get other people working for you. And you're working smart and not hard. Some of you I know are killing yourselves walking around town warm chatting. And that's great. It's good to develop that skill, but you also, there's so many other ways that you can meet people that I think warm chatting is a skill that I want you guys to master because it's important to know how to do, but there's also lots of other ways to meet people, okay? Does that help anybody? Do you feel like you guys can go meet people? Because the key to this whole business is you've got to have leads, okay? To be getting all the points and all the other things that we're talking about, you've got to have leads to start with. Yes?
Well, and based on this too, you can see those people that are actually helping you and help lead the recruits. Because you see the ones that are go-getters and
tells you a lot about someone if they take the time to do this and they take the challenge. So I would start with people that you like and that love you and care about you. All right, does that make sense? Simple, simple, simple. Okay, I was gonna have you guys role play, but we have 20 more minutes. And what I want you to do, well, we'll take like 2 minutes and I want you guys to role play with your neighbor. Those of you, I lied, I'm gonna make y'all role play. I know I change my mind all the time, go with it. And those of you that are online, I want you to say it out loud, okay? Because there's so much power in saying these things out loud. Okay, so pick a few of them and role play with your neighbor. We're gonna role play for just a couple minutes. You're not gonna be able to get through all of them. Ready, set, go. You online, go. I'm gonna unmute you guys so I can hear you, by the way. I want to hear you. Are you booking? Are you booking? Can I hear you?
I'm
Say it out loud.
Rose today. Which color would you like?
would you take
Their camera on our professional women.
I'll be back in 48 hours to pick these up. I sent the goons to get you.
Okay, one more minute. One more minute. All right, guys, 5 more seconds. Wrap it up, wrap it up. So did that help to say it out loud? Coming out of your mouth? Yes. Right. Of course. Now, here's the thing about scripts. Scripts are great, and it gives you a place to start, but you don't want to sound like a robot either. Okay, let me be clear. Hi, how are you today? Like, no, it gives you a guideline, but at the same time, just be you, right? Because one of the best things you can do is just connect people, let them see you're a real person. You're not a salesy person. You're not trying to pressure them. You're just an awesome person. Does that make sense? So, got it? Does that help? Now you guys are going to implement these things, right? Okay, I'm going to give you one more tool that I hope will help you. It's a challenge that, okay, so I'm going to pass this out. Okay, so another cool thing about this is I get to decide random points at any time. If I decide that I want to give out random points for anything, I get to because I'm a director. I'm running the show. I'm going with it. So I'm handing them this out, dealing with no, all right? And who was I talking to? I can't remember. I was talking to some consultant the other day. I think it was maybe Kayla. I don't know. Kayla, was you. Which I have to give mad props to Miss Kayla, a honest girl. She went out yesterday and got 5 names. And anyways, her 8, she didn't stop at 5. She got 8. And if you don't know, she's been dealing with some major health issues. She didn't let that stop her. And she, actually, Kayla, you motivated me to actually train or to share this today and use this. Is that she said she was going to get 100 no's or whatever. I don't even know how many you said, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to do that tomorrow with the challenge. So thank you, Kayla. See, good job. You inspired me. All right. So I decided to do this because I think this will help you with getting out there and meeting people. That it's a trick and it's a mind game. So what I decided randomly to do is you get 300 points if you fill this out this week. Okay? 300 extra points. Just bonus. Because I get to. So dealing with no. This is very powerful. Dealing with no. It's a one-word answer, the word no. Some people really have a tough time accepting the fact that they're going to hear the word no fairly often. They get discouraged. They feel rejected because they look at the word no as a negative. Nothing could be further from the truth. The word no simply means that nothing changes. Underline that, circle that. That's so huge. The word no means that nothing changes. Think about it. You approach your neighbor and ask her to be a hostess. She says no. What changed? Is she still your neighbor? Yes. Did your income go up or down? No. Nothing changed. It can't be a negative. To be a negative, things would have to get worse, and they didn't. Everything remains exactly the same. Does that make sense? On the other hand, suppose she said yes. Now there's something positive that changes. She received free your company's incentive, which is a positive. You gain several more customers, potential hosts, and consultants, another positive, and you earn more money, another positive. You can see how this example, there's no negatives in our business. There's only positives in times when nothing changes. It's a different way to look at a no. When someone tells you no, so your goal is to get 100 no's as fast as you can. Okay? So actually it does. So you are going to be ahead of the game because you yeah, she goes really fast. Some of y'all need to go find a booth, but I want you focus on this because not to be negative, but it changes the way your mind looks at it. Okay. Yes. So when someone tells you no, cross out one of the no's on the bottom of the sheet. Set yourself a goal of getting 100 no's within the next few weeks. I'm giving you 1 week. If you want to see your business explode with growth, take this exercise seriously. Here's a hint. Triple up. Ask someone if they'll become a consultant with your company. If they say no, cross it out. Ask them if they'll become a hostess. If they say no, you cross it out. If they give a customer referral and they say no again, then you got 3 no's all from one person. Okay, so right, exactly. And the more you do it, the tougher it becomes because then, okay, this is the cool part about this. The more you do this, the tougher it becomes to get those 100 no's. You'll find that a yes will creep in there every once in a while. Don't let the occasional yes distract you. Imagine, okay, this is the funny part. Imagine the look on your neighbor's face when she tells you no and you respond, gee, thanks, I've only got a few more no's to go. And they consider, I was afraid you were going to say yes there for a minute. But it gives you a fun way to look at the nose. I love this exercise. Don't take this exercise lightly. It really does work. Get those no's now. Well, it's so easy for you to do so. Don't wait until it becomes difficult for people to say no. That time is going to come soon enough. But this helps you build your confidence. Okay, so 300 extra points when you get 100 no's this week. Okay, so there's another extra little challenge. So that's a fun little twist. I can help you with that. Okay, one of the other things I'm going to go over really quickly. Yeah, that's next. We're going to finish up with that guy. We're not going to go into the booking today because we don't have time. So next week we're going to go into the booking. So I sent all those things, but I really felt like when something was laid on my heart that I need to shift things, just go with it, okay? But you'll have those handouts for booking next week. I'll probably re-email them. Or, they'll help you if you need some scripts with booking this next week, because I want you guys focused on booking and getting to 10 appointments on your books as soon as possible. And if you don't have leads right now, use these things to help you get leads, okay? So, all right. The last thing that goes along with all of this that we're going to go over, and there's no handout for this, but we're going to talk about image real quick, okay? Because image is really important when you are going out and meeting people. It's important that you look the part. Now, I'm not saying you're dressed to the nines 24/7. I'm not saying that, but it is important to your success, especially if you struggle with your confidence. I'd encourage you to really work on these things on the outside, because when we look good on the outside, we feel better on the inside. And our beauty doesn't come from that, let me be clear. But things like, we all know, I love my yoga pants and sweatshirts. And even Brianna and I have had this conversation where, we could stay home all day long with our, yoga pants and wear no makeup. And you guys wouldn't know because we're on the phone talking to people. But we feel more confident and we work better. And I am much more effective when I put my face on and I get dressed and I get up, get cute, and get out of my house, okay? So it's really important more than anything, not just because it messes with your mental game. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just want to say, honestly, this is something that I seriously struggled with. I did not wear makeup before Mary Kay. I owned a bakery, and I was up at 3 in the morning. And this past week, literally just Monday night on the way home from meeting, Candace and I were talking about just different things to do. And one of the things that I told her that I wanted to be accountable for is I want to get up. And every morning I get up and wash my face, and that's no big deal. But I wanted to make sure that I had my makeup on before 8 a.m. And I have literally boxed her a picture, with the exception of this morning, but I had my makeup on at 7:30 when I was in the car. But literally, it's changed my entire week. It's changed how I felt about myself. It's changed how much stuff I've gotten done during the day. Mm-hmm. And it's literally changed everything just by that one simple 5 minutes. And and it's not necessarily about makeup. If you don't wear makeup, fine, whatever. Put on CC cream. Your foundation isn't actually makeup. That's your last step of skincare. It protects your face. So at least do that. And okay, I
know you guys can't hear her, but she said they can't hear you.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm gonna cut you off, honey. I love you. But Brianna was talking about how she getting up early and texting me a picture of her with her makeup on and everything it was by 8 a.m. It really made a difference in her week. She was much more productive. And so, sorry, I had to tell them, because one of the biggest complaints they always say is they can't hear when anyone else is talking. No, Sarah knows this. Okay, so she's a perfect example. So thank you, Brianna. But I'm going to go into the training. So image is very, very, very important when you are going out. All right. Because you're going to it's proven that women in skirts are well respected, viewed as more professional, and you're going to attract a higher caliber of women. It's just proven. It's proven. When attending a Mary Kay appointment, you want to look professional. This includes the number of bags that you come in with. Write that down. If you're like the bag lady coming in with 10 million bags and you're like a camel, you're like, oh my God, I was so heavy, and you're making your job look difficult. No, nobody wants that. I've seen some of y'all come into stuff. I'm like, why are you bringing all that? What are you doing? I leave my inventory in my car. I do not bring my inventory in. Leave the car. I literally pull up with one thing. You want to make your job look easy, okay? Don't look like a mule horse packing stuff, okay? some things that you need to keep in mind to change. Wear a professional skirt or the beauty coat. You guys, if the beauty coat is one of the most classy things, if you struggle with having a cute outfit or whatever, the beauty coat from MK Connections is gorgeous. And it's very, very simple. I don't have one, but a lot of directors, they actually make their consultants buy the beauty coat and wear it to everything. But it's a very simple thing that can help you look professional. Wear a nice blouse, your Mary Kay pin, wear shoes that you can stand in for a while, comfy but not casual. Make sure your hair and makeup look great. If you need help with that, ask somebody. You know, I know anything about makeup or hair, but ask somebody. I mean, we're in a group of women that can help each other. Okay, but, and I always, Lori Mayfield Banks always says that if you haven't been complimented on your hair in the last few weeks, what is it, cut it, dye it, or buy some new hair. Like you want it to be looking, you're like $1,000,000 and feeling your best, okay? And feeling your best. We're in the image business. Smell. Some people like, yeah, smell. breath, check your breath. Make sure if it's, and ask people these things that are very personal things, but they will turn people off, right? That ask people these things. Ask someone close to you, like, do I have bad breath? Do I stink? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because these things will turn people off. Okay, little things, these little things. When you're closing with someone and you're breathing coffee breath or whatever on them, like those little things, you're gonna turn people off. So these are just little things, but it makes a big difference. Boogers, I know, we're all like, oh God. Make sure your bags are organized and not dirty. Organized, and you're cleaning your mirrors and trays. Smile is huge for image, okay? Smile. Have a great time. Remember to keep a professional approach to your party. Be careful. Here's another thing about image that it says on here. Be careful not to bash other home-based businesses at our parties. That lacks professionalism. You know, I mean, there's a lot of home-based business out there, and I don't ever want to bash any other company because that makes us look trashy. You know, we don't have to trash other companies because we have, you know, we are the best of the best, right? So don't feel like you have to trash another company. A couple other things about image is, yeah, you know, and those of you may have those of you that if you have an area that you feel insecure about, you know, maybe it's your outfit, maybe it's this, like go ask somebody who's good at it. We have lots of girls in our group who are very, like Brianna knows I'm not the makeup pro. I ask her and Jessica all the time, how do you put this on? How do you put this color? Like, I'm not the makeup pro. I'll be the first to tell you. But I know I have people in my life that they help me, okay? I remember when I first signed up, Terry Wilson, those of you that met her at seminar, she is called the trendsetter for a reason. Like, she always looks like $1,000,000. Her hair and outfit and jewelry is always slamming, and I was never that. And she literally took me shopping once. She's like, we need to help that. And she would say that. But I asked her for that help. Does that make sense? Because I knew nothing about fashion. I was an engineer. I was frumpy. But, and it's still something that I can't say I mastered, but there are people that you can ask to help you, okay? So this isn't to make anyone feel bad about yourself. It's for you to feel your best, okay? So, couple things. Just find a power outfit. Find one power outfit, 1 to 2 power outfits that you, like I have, most of you don't see me back to back multiple days in a row, but I'll wear the same thing like 2 or 3 days in a row. If I feel confident wearing it, I'll wear it all the time because why not? You know, I'm gonna wear. You know, that's something I feel great in, I'm gonna wear it back to back, okay? So find a power outfit. You don't need to go break the bank. Just find a couple things that you feel great in. And that fit your body type and all of that stuff. That's another thing. Please don't wear anything too low or too short. Or too tight. Or, yes, combination of all three. Or a bra, please. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Keep your hands in your pocket, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Anything else about image you want to add? You got to speak over here if you want. Yeah.
When I first
they usually can't hear. You know this.
Yeah. So when I
Speak
first
really
met
loud.
you, we were meeting at Chili's. So I wore a dress. I don't wear dresses at work. I wear slacks, shoes, blouse maybe, and mostly a coat because it's cold in there. And when I walked into Chili's, the lady literally looked at me and went, wow. Because I walked in with confidence. My back was straight. I felt great. I felt powerful. I was waiting on Kent. She was a little late.
Yeah.
No, but when I walked in there, I felt powerful. And it made me feel great that she actually looked me up and down and said, wow.
That's awesome.
You look awesome. And she didn't know me from jack, so.
I love it. And you probably felt wow at work too. I'm sure people are like, wow,
Yeah,
Sarah,
she's wearing a dress.
That's a great story, and I hope you guys can hear that. That when you dress up like that and you show, it shows people that you're taking this seriously. Especially when you're starting with your practice, faces. I'd encourage you to do that because your friends and family will notice, and they'll be like, "Wow, Sarah, I've never seen you look so good." Not just you,
Right.
but you know what I mean. That shows your friends and family that you're really serious about this. And you will feel so much better about yourself because with your friends and family, it's easy to be like, they don't care, I'll go in jeans. No, it's been proven, you guys, your sales will be 2 to 3 times higher if you go looking your best. Okay?
I'm just gonna
Speak
say,
loudly because they can't hear.
consignment stores. If you don't have a wardrobe right now, shop consignment. You can get a dress for $4, $5.
True.
Clearance.
Yeah.
Great
On
stuff.
clearance
Yeah,
too.
I don't spend a lot of money on my clothes. Cheap stuff. Ross is great too. Ross, clearance, consignment stuff. Go and find, like I was telling them, go find one black skirt that looks good with everything. One black skirt that looks good with everything and just change the top. You don't have to break the bank, but I just want you feeling your best, okay? A couple of things that it says on here about image, which I think this is good. Leave your problems at home. Leave your problems at home. Your hostess doesn't need to know what went wrong today. Avoid drawing attention to yourself when you go to an appointment. That's really tacky. Take you out of the class. Be there for your guests. Listen more and talk less. Listen more and talk less. Those are some of the best things you can do for image. You guys, I think Mary Kay's one of the best forms of therapy because it helps you forget about your problems and focus on other people. I remember when I was going through my divorce, and I've gone through some crazy stuff over the years. When I'm sitting at home being depressed and focusing on me, I'm miserable. But when I get up, get cute, and I go out, and even if I really didn't want to go, there's times where I almost canceled appointments because I didn't want to go. But I went and I showed up and I focused on her. I didn't tell her about what was going on in my personal life, but I focused on her. It made me feel so much better about myself. And it made me forget about my problems. Does that make sense? So some of you, I've seen you go to appointments, you're like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I had this happen and that happened and this happened. That's tacky. Seriously. Focus on her because, focus on her. I can't say that enough. I have people that literally, it was funny, actually, Amy, I'm going to talk about her the other night in Pueblo, a girl showed up and it was just, we only had one guest and it was Amy's guest. And the girl was sharing her whole life story and sharing so many things. And Amy was like, oh my God, I would never tell somebody that much stuff. I can't believe she shared all that with you. But it's because you're an ear and you're someone there to listen. You guys, women are lonely. And we show up and we're a listening ear. You guys, that'll change her life right there. And you'll build a customer for life and a friend for life. I can't tell you how many times I've met with people and they're like, wow, I have a new friend. They're hugging me at the end of appointments. That don't show up to sell. Show up to bless her and show up to be a light in her world, okay? And I promise you'll go way further in this business, okay? So don't focus on you, focus on her. And they'll tell you some crazy stuff. I really will. I've left some appointments, I'm like, wow, she's got some major life going on. But that only happens if you focus on her. If you're sitting here talking the whole time, and a lot of times we talk out of nervousness, and I used to not be very outgoing, and I know you wouldn't think this, but I hate the center of attention being on me. I hate it. And that's something I've had to grow in, to be a leader, to focus on other people. And I like to do this stuff because I get to use my knowledge to help you. And even though there's a monitor right in my face, I like to just help other people. But one of the best ways that I learned to be more talkative is to ask questions. If you want to get really good at people skills, is learn to ask questions. Learn to ask genuine questions. At your appointments, you should be, they should be doing more talking than you. Of course, you're going to be sharing some information about the products, but they should be more talking than you. Ask them questions. Get good at asking, and real questions, not just rattling stuff off. Tell me about you. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you have da-da-da-da? Tell me about your kids. Tell me about your job. Tell me about this. You guys, people, I leave and they think we're best friends because I listened. And I don't know anything about me, but I know a lot about them. Does that make sense? Okay. So those are some image things that are very important. Don't wear pants, please, because pants is not as professional. Okay. Never touch a customer with makeup, blah, blah, blah. You all know that. Okay. All right, the last couple things that I'm going to end with are some powerful numbers that, I lied, I'm not going to end with that. Well, I'm going to end with that, but I want to mention one more thing that I did pass out. Hold on, I'm going to pass this around. No, it's okay. One more thing really quickly. We're almost done. And I'm going to try and keep this and not go more than an hour and 30 minutes because we got people coming in. So just so you guys know, I really want to keep to a time limit. That's why I want to start right at 8 a.m. Those of you that have a big goal, because I know a lot of you, we're not talking about this today, but a lot of you have a goal to be in DIQ or go into for your car or to move up and do something huge by October 1st, okay? And we're not really talking about that today. We're going to talk about a lot of that more later. But I do know that a lot of you on here, you have huge goals. So if you don't have a huge goal, then don't worry about this. You can tune me out for a second. But this is, no, it won't take long, but I felt like I had to address it because I want you guys pushing. And one of the skills, too, that as you grow up is to learn to push and to embrace a deadline and to really run this last week of the month. Is to really run and to not run from it, but to embrace it, okay? So I thought this was a cool little handout to help you with the calls that I know you're gonna be making. It says the 32 nicest people that I know. And so this is some homework for you, the 32 nicest people that you know. Even those of you who are just for bookings, make a list of 32 nicest people that you know. At the top it says, put a P if they're on the product, a star if they have the means to begin the business, getting the starter kit, a little product, heart, put a heart next to them if they're a leader in other areas of their life, okay? And then start with the ladies who have all three symbols. And so this is someone who already is a customer, okay? You call her, you basically just tell her, hey, I just love having you. So this is a way to ask for career chat and business opportunity. We're totally skipping to that. We'll go in more depth about that later, but I did want to address this for those of you who had a huge goal. I love having you as my customer. I just want to make sure I make you a priority and make you aware of the Mary Kay opportunity. It would never be for me. Oh, okay, let me read this again. I just love having you as a customer, and I just want to make sure that I make you a priority and make you aware of the Mary Kay opportunity. Oh, if she says it would never be for me, say, I understand. You may be right, and this might not be something for you that you want to pursue. However, here's the kicker. It would break my heart if I found out that you could have benefited from this and I didn't take the time to tell you about it. All we need to do is set aside about 20 minutes for me to share with you my marketing presentation. And you can give me your opinion because I value it so much in my presentation skills. If there's anything I should add or take away from my presentation on market plan, I'd love to know. Would you be willing to help me reach my goal this month of 20 presentations of the marketing plan? Now, if you want to try doing them subs, you can, or we can set up a three-way call or a coffee with your director. But if they aren't on the product, then you basically are going to ask them to get together and try the product. Does that make sense? So this is for those of you that have a huge goal. It helps you with words as far as what to say to ask people. Does that help? Hopefully. All right. Now this is the last thing. I'm going to wrap it up. Write these numbers down because this is powerful. So we just talked about leads. And really the power of this business is in consistency. And just like anything else, I know I hate to bring up diet and exercise and all that not fun stuff no one wants to talk about, as I feed you with donuts, the power of consistency, okay? That if I was told this a long time ago to get 5 and 2 a day. And I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I was literally told this as a new consultant. And I believe it helped me move as quickly as I did. 5 and 2. And it's getting 5 names a day and getting 2 bookings a day. So 5 new names a day from one of these lead things that we talked about. And 2 new bookings means you're getting 2 new appointments on your books. You're setting up a facial or a party. Okay? And I want you to see how this can pay out over time. Okay? 5 names a day, 2 new bookings a day. And granted, that was my goal every day. Now, did I hit it every day? No. Some days I'd hit 3 and 1 or 0 and 2 or 5 and 0, but it was my goal every day. And I knew that was something I could focus on daily. That was going to get me where I wanted to go. Okay. So write these numbers down. You do 5, you get 5 names a day. Let's see, you did that 6 days a week. That's 1,560 leads a year.
How much?
If you get 5 names a day, 6 days a week, that would be 1,560 leads a year. If 1 in 4 of them book, that'd be 390 bookings. And once you write that, I'll give you one more number. But one of the problems I see with consultants is they don't have enough leads.
390.
390 bookings if one of them 4 booked. Most consultants don't have enough leads, and they're expecting to have all this success in their business, but they're missing one of the most important parts is you got to have people to call. Yeah, and you know, some of you're so in your friends and family circle, and you can use the scripts that I emailed out about booking your 30 faces, but if you've gotten out of them, then you need to be tapping into some of these ways, okay? And like I said, 5 different sources of leads. So 1,500 leads in a year, 390 bookings. Write this down. You sell to 1 in, let's say you sold to 1 in 5, which I think that's extremely low, but we're keeping it low. That's 312 new customers in the year by getting 5 new names a day. And then if you got the bookings along with that, 2 new bookings a day would be 624 bookings a year. Only half of our appointments are going to hold, right? So it'll be 312 appointments in a year. And then you'd have, if they were classes, you would have, so those 312 appointments, if they were classes, you would have 936 new customers. That's why it's important to book parties and not just facials. Because, anyways, we'll talk about that later. Now, there's where it gets fun. If 80% of them bought, write this down because these numbers are huge. If 80% of them bought a basic skincare, so that's just a cleanser and a moisturizer, literally just one set. If 80% of them bought just one set, that would be an extra profit of $40,500 in your pocket.
40,000 what?
40,560. It's actually profit in your pocket. Profit. That's using the 60-40 split. We'll talk about that later too. That's profit. Could you get excited? Here's where it gets even more exciting. Let's say 80% of them bought a miracle set. 80% of them bought a miracle set, which is obviously 2 sets, or you know, with our set sheet, that's just 2 sets. That's $79,560 in a year. From your sales, that's profit, that's take home from your profit. Don't tell me you can't make money in Mary Kay. The bottom line is most of us aren't working enough numbers to have the results that you want in your business. That I believe one of the most frustrating things is when consultants want all these things and they're doing this amount of activity. That if you want huge things, you got to be willing to do the work and don't have to take much time. Most of you have full-time jobs and you have kids and you're busy and you're involved in a ton of stuff. You know, if you did like any of these, the basic or the miracle set, that's 3 parties a week. Well, I don't know, it's 3 appointments a week. So that's probably only 6 to 8 hours a week. Y'all can find 6 to 8 hours a week to make an extra $79,000 a year, do you think? That's not even counting the reorders, and that's definitely not even counting team building, which we'll go over later. Can you get excited? So the power is in the consistency. Those numbers are pretty powerful that I want you guys to work in the numbers. So there you go. There is your Pacesetters number 1. So what I want you to focus on this week is getting as many points as you possibly can. As many points as you can this week. Remember, I feel like not so anti what I want, and that I'm giving you a ribbon for showing up and tracking your activity, okay? But I want you working. I want you working because there's so much power in accountability. So much power in accountability and so much power in just showing up. So you guys are all going to stick with this, right?
Yes.
I'm going to see your faces for the next 6 weeks, bright and early. And I'm excited to grow. I'm really excited for what this is going to do in your businesses. I hope you're excited too about the growth and about the accountability. Don't run from it, people. Embrace it. It's a choice. It's a choice, okay? And the other thing that's really huge is I want to hear from you. You get points just for talking to me because y'all think I'm so busy. I'm really not. I want to hear from you, okay? All right, so let's get to work. And you guys are all dressed and cute. So I'd encourage you to go out and meet people and let's make it a great week. Yay! Bye. Let's say bye. I'm going to turn y'all around so everyone can say wave. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. All right. I'm going to end the meeting. Bye, guys.